Hey everyone, and welcome to our overview video of our new platform control panel. We're really excited to release this to you guys, and I wanted to give you this video because as you can see, we've done a great deal to not only the interface and just how it looks, but we've also added some new features, and we've changed some of the UX and made some UX enhancements. So for new users, it's going to be even easier to use, even of course more user-friendly, but at the same time, we understand that there are some of you who are already used to some things and kind of the way that they work, so there are a few tweaks that we made that we want to make you aware of. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the appearance section, or as you'll see here, it's now called design. Under design, you now have three options. You have your branding side menu, which used to be under what was called plugins before, and then you've got your footer menu as well. Under branding is where you can do your app icon, your loading screens, fonts. We've added over 50 new fonts, and so you can really utilize these fonts to extend your brand even more. We've added different types of fonts and everything from sans serif to handwritten fonts and everything like that. So a really great way to even boost your brand even more. For colors, we have included footer menu background and footer menu icon colors, and you'll see how that applies in just a second. The other thing you're going to notice is that there is no home screen or home plugin selection here. The reason for that is that we moved it under the home screen to make it a bit more user-friendly as far as discovering that and working with that section. So you'll see that being moved under home screen, and I'll get to that in a second. So that's our branding section. For our side menu, we have some new design options that are really great. So when you first go to your side menu, you'll see it actually pop out. You can go ahead and close that, and you'll see here that you have now alignment, floating, and transparency options, as well as icon selection. So if I want to align it left, you can now do that. If you want to make it float so that instead of a tab, it's a little button, you can do that as well. If you want to make the background transparent, you can do that too, so that you don't have any button type, it's just the icon itself. And then you can also choose which icon type you like. So if you want to switch it to this, for example, or you want to switch it to this, you can do that. And then not only that, you can also select a custom image to go there. So if you want to have something custom that you've created, you can upload that image and use that as your icon as well. You can also turn it off and just do away with the side menu completely. We've now introduced a footer menu into the app, and we call it a sticky footer sometimes because it does just that. It sticks to the bottom of the app and it persists no matter which plugin you're in, so you'll always see it there. There are some styling options as far as shadows, borders, things like that, and then you can add any type of action you want. So instead of just adding the ability to link to different features or plugins, right? You can add any sort of action item. So you can link to the web, you can link to an email or a text message or call a number, or link to a map, all that stuff. And then of course you can link to app content as well and take them to a specific plugin. One hint about this, or one suggestion I would make, is that if you're going to use a lot of icons, instead of having say 10 or 15 icons, you could have 5 icons. Make the 4 most predominant features that you want be the top 4, and then the last one could be, let's say, a folder plugin that would take them to additional options or additional features or plugins throughout the app. You're hearing me say features instead of plugins, and there's a reason for that, and I'll get to that in a second. You can also turn this off completely. Oftentimes, if you're going to use the side menu, you would use that, or the footer menu and use that. Typically it's one or the other, although you can have both at the same time as well. We've made some enhancements to our media library as well, and some really great things. You can drop images right into the media library, so you don't have to go searching for them. You just plunk them right down in there. And then also, we've added a native image editor to the media library. So if you want to edit an image, it's really easy to do. All you've got to do is click this edit button and it'll bring it up. Instead of having to edit images on various programs and then transfer them into the system, you can edit them right here. So if I click this button, I'm going to see that my image loads up, and then I can do a variety of different things up here. I can adjust the lighting, or I can crop it. One of the really cool things about cropping is that you can, based on where you're using the image and how you're using it, you can actually select the predefined aspect ratio. So most of the carousels, for example, are a 16:9 ratio. So you can select that ratio and then go with it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. And then also you can do things like adding a vignette to it if you want to. Let's say I want to add a light vignette to this image, just a subtle white vignette, I could do that. If I also want to add, let's say, text, So if this is a feature that you're using in a folder, then you can add some text to it, call that feature title. You can then take it and you can resize it, you can change the orientation, you can do all kinds of stuff like that. You can change the color as well, and then you can also change the font if you want. Once you apply that, the cool thing is that you'll have the opportunity to save it. So you'll see that you now have two options. You can either create a brand new image or you can replace the one that you had. My recommendation would be to create a new one, because that will give you the opportunity to go back to the original and adjust that if you ever need to change the text or you want to change the colors or something like that. So when you create a new one, it's going to keep the original here, but then it's also going to add a new image right over here for you to utilize. Under home screen, you're going to see that, like I said before, that we moved the ability to set the home, what used to be called home plugin, now home screen, to be whichever plugin you want. So you simply click that button, plugins will pop up, or you can search for it and you can add it that way. While we're in here, the other thing I want to point out is that we've made some design enhancements and changes to the actual features. Again, used to be called plugins themselves. And so you can see the image or icon is now here up in the top left corner. This is the title. It'll tell you which type of plugin it actually is. And you also have, of course, some design options, security options, tagging, and purchasing options there that are highlighted like that as you click through them. In the features section, so this used to be called plugins. This is now called features. It's just a little, the terminology is just a little more user-friendly, and so we switched over that terminology. In features, you're going to see all of the features that you've already created, and what you can do here is you can actually either add a new feature, which will take you to the marketplace, and I'll get to that in a second, or you can just clone it. So let's say you wanted to take this, this muscle building feature, and you wanted to just clone it because you wanted to make a few enhancements, or you wanted to keep the formatting or whatever it might be. All you have to do is click this page icon and click clone, and then give it a title, and when you clone it, it will literally copy over the feature and give you that same starting point. So it's really, really useful in terms of building and managing your app. We've made some additional enhancements to the UI of the marketplace, and so you can actually search here through different types of features that you might want to check out. You can also search up here like you could before. If you have something highlighted and you search for a term, it's only going to search within that highlighted section just to help refine some of that information. And then, of course, if you're showing everything, it'll search all of it. So we're really excited about the marketplace. If your configuration or your plan allows for it, you can also install new plugins with your license key. But this is the marketplace. We're really excited about that. For notifications, there are a few terminology changes. So instead of RSS notification, it's now called an automatic notification. You can still, of course, with push notifications, send out to all users. You can send out to groups, to custom segments. Still a really powerful and robust push notification system. And you can see that we've cleaned up the UI a bit to help with that. Under app users, you can still import user data. You can see that we've cleaned up the UI a little bit and everything. The other thing that you'll notice is that under the search, it used to be a basic versus advanced search, and now we've really simplified it to make it just one search. And so if you want to search by name or email address, you can do that. You can search the tags. Also, the sign-up date range used to default to the last 30 days. It no longer does that, so that all of your users will show by default when you're searching, unless you want to specify a date range. As you know, we were ahead of the game for PWAs, or progressive web apps, and we provided them all along. But now with this Apple change and everything that they're trying to push from their side regarding the new guidelines, PWAs for most use cases tend to be Apple's preferred method of distribution for apps, which is a great way. There's actually some benefits around how PWAs allow for better and faster distribution. You don't have to go through the App Store and all that. With our platform, we do allow for custom coding, and so that there is still the option to go native, utilizing that side of the platform and everything, which is great. And so, but we do understand that the vast majority of apps will probably fall under that PWA category from Apple's side. And so the way you'll access that link is by going to this HTML5 URL and copying that link, and then you would go ahead and access that link and save it to your home screen. Now, one of the changes that we'll be making in the near future is the ability to have custom domains. So instead of having this long address, you'll just have app.yourdomain.com, and you'll be able to customize that for making it even easier to access and easier to distribute. So thanks so much for watching our overview video. I'm glad that we were able to go through some of the changes and some of the enhancements that we made. Obviously, it's not an exhaustive list and not necessarily complete, but I wanted to show you some of those changes and everything so that if you were already used to the system, that you know about them and you can navigate things easily as well. So we're really excited. Definitely encourage you to hop in there and check it out, and I hope you have a great day.